the question I've been avoiding, which is so dumb that I avoid it, but hey Google, play All I Want for Christmas Is You. Hey guys, what is up and happy Sutter Sunday. This week I'm doing something a little different. I am sitting down and I'm finally doing a Q&A. And I realized outside of the people in my everyday life, not that many people know that much about me. Not that many people know the real me. I asked people for questions on Instagram, so thank you everybody who asked me a question on my Instagram and actually cares about anything in my life. The first question that I wanted to answer, so I'm asking a question to myself. Why am I starting a YouTube channel? Basically, I wanted to start a channel for the same reason that I sit down and watch YouTube myself. One, for entertainment. Two is a lot of YouTubers that I grew up watching, I ended up feeling like they were my little friends in the screen there. And some, why am I getting emotional? Some even felt like they were like my big sisters. When the beauty gurus started and I started watching, like, I know people have their opinions on them, but like Jaclyn Hill and Carly Bybel, Nicole Guerrero, I literally felt like they were like my big sisters, and it was fun to come and watch them. But like, YouTube can mean more than just dumb little videos. A lot of people find comfort in having people care about them. So that is why I want to start a YouTube channel, so maybe I can be a friend to you guys, or I can be like a big sister to some of you. Anyways, I can't believe I really got emotional. Anyways, on to the fun stuff. My first question is, what is my Starbucks order? You know, I make my own coffee most of the time. Of course, in my little Starbucks cup my mom got me from London. I don't want to sit and spend like $5 on this drink at Starbucks. So I just get coffee with cream. I'm sorry, that was so boring. But what do you use to edit on YouTube and your filters on Instagram? What I use to edit on YouTube is I use Final Cut Pro. One of the reasons I finally was convinced to start this YouTube channel is because my husband, through his job, access to Adobe, the Adobe Cloud, whatever. And so I started trying to edit on Premiere Pro, and it was so confusing. I was so pissed off. I was like, like, it has to be easier than this. Like, I used to make YouTube videos with my little brother when I was 10 on iMovie, and it was so easy. Why should this be so complicated? So I got the trial for Final Cut Pro, and y'all, if you're debating Premiere Pro versus Final Cut Pro, I recommend Final Cut Pro all the way. It's like iMovie for like professional. As far as Instagram, I use JC Marie Smith's Lightroom presets, and I use her mobile presets. I'll go ahead and link them down below for you guys so you can all have bomb pictures. Once I got those presets, there was no looking back for me. How did you and your hubby meet? Derby is my husband. We met on the very first day of college, and we were both in a summer program. Shout out to all my bridge kids out there. If one of my bridge kids is watching this video, I am proud of you. Thank you for supporting me. And y'all know I was crazy since then. We met on the very first day of college. We lived literally across the hall from each other, and I tell this story to everybody because it's like my claim to fame with him. So we had a floor meeting the very first day of school, and so we went in there. I ended up being introduced to him by a friend of mine from middle school that we used to hang at the mall together, and he introduced me to his roommate, who was Derby, and you know, the rest is history there. We just hit it right off. But when I went back to my room, I ended up texting my friends that I had met my husband, and you know what? I was right. So, where do you live? Here's the thing that everybody who lives in my area knows. We all say that we live in Atlanta because that's the only place people know in Georgia. But we all know that most of us really live in the burbs. That's me. I live in the burbs of Atlanta. It's called Alpharetta, Georgia. You know, the burbs aren't so bad. What is your favorite movie or TV show? I am like so far apart on the TV spectrum. It's either one way or the other. I love reality TV. I watch all the Housewives. Bravo is my bae.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the other side of the spectrum is The Handmaid's Tale. I am obsessed. So you've got the Kardashians reality shows on this side. You turn your brain off, you can sit there, you can stare at your phone, and you still know what's going on at the end of every episode. With The Handmaid's Tale or serious shows like that I love, literally I gotta be in my room, surround sound needs to be on, phone in the trash, blanket over my face watching it. I can't have that many shows like that, or I would literally just be locked in my room, like screaming at Derby to get out so I can watch my show.
Blessed day.
What do you do for work, or what's your job? I am a makeup artist. I specialize in bridal makeup, so most of my weekends are spent at weddings, being a part of everybody's best day of their lives, which is awesome. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I started my own business, Ellis Makeup, back in 2015. So going on like three or 4 years now of having my own business. I say like I'm an accidental entrepreneur. I never really thought going into college that I would have my own business, but that's the way the world worked out, and I am so grateful every single wedding to be a part of it. Do you act anymore? Ooh, somebody from high school asking me a question. But I was huge into theater all growing up. My dad was an actor for 10 plus years in New York City, so I kind of just have that in my blood. I was huge into theater all throughout high school. We won 2 state championships for shows that I was in, and if you didn't know that you can compete in theater, yes, you can. No, I don't really act anymore, but that's another reason that I love getting on here on YouTube. It's kind of reawakened this acting love of me, or just being creative. I kind of put that to rest for a long time, and I was like, when you grow up, you don't do those things, right? You're just like normal now. When I've been doing my YouTube videos, even though they're just vlogs, I feel like creative again. Best advice for someone looking to build their social media presence? Well, one, I'm flattered that I was asked this question. My biggest advice, especially if you want to grow on Instagram, that's where I have more expertise. One, consistency is key. That's same for here on YouTube. If you're gonna grow on any sort of social media, you have to commit to putting out content, because that's what it's all about. Consistency is key. The other thing is, this is so cliche, I hate it, but you really, like, you gotta be yourself. We get in this like comparison game on Instagram, which I hate, that people seriously will compare themselves to like a little snapshot of somebody's day. Please, 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 if you are a young girl, do not compare yourself. Go ahead, look at my Instagram right now. Sure, maybe it's full of pretty pictures. My life is not pretty all the time. No, it is not easy all the time. Please do not compare yourself to these people. They struggle just like you. That's all I gotta say about that. My dream travel destination. 100% my #1 dream travel destination is Paris. Since the time I was a little girl, my mom has talked about going to Paris. She had books and maps, and she'd be like, I'm going to Paris one day. She finally went to Paris, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago, with my dad to run the Paris Marathon. First of all, what? I cannot run like a mile, but my mom and dad went to Paris and they ran the Paris Marathon. I was so worried for her that she would like hype up Paris so much that when she got there, it wouldn't be as great as she thought it would be, but she came back and she was like, you have to go, Ellis, it's amazing. I feel like I was raised to go to Paris, so somebody just let me go to Paris. The question I've been avoiding, which is so dumb that I avoid it, but how old are you and how old were you when you had Beckett? I am 23 and I had Beckett when I was 19, and I found out I was pregnant when I was 18. And like I sit and I'll say to myself, why are you insecure about your own age? It's so dumb. And I think it has a little bit to do with, one, being a teen mom has a really bad connotation to it, and I feel like I'm just a mom. All the moms I know that Beckett goes to preschool with, that we have play dates with, whatever, they're all 30 plus. I have the hardest time relating to a lot of moms that are that age, and I just try to imitate them almost, and I want to be like seen as like this 30-year-old mom, but I'm not. I'm 23, and I'm constantly kind of in this struggle with myself where I want to be seen as like 30 and successful in what I did, but then I also sometimes want to be like 23 and just, you know, grow up, be creative, and do things that people did throughout their 20s, but a lot of times I feel like I'm not allowed to. When I was pregnant with Beckett, I kind of decided that I was, you know, it was time to grow up, so I grew up really quickly. Going from being a freshman in college to finding out that you're gonna have a baby, you grow up fast. You figure shit out quickly. And I pushed a lot of anything that makes me young down, and I'm like, don't want to show it. I just want to be seen as like perfect mom age and like behavior. The one thing that I have really told myself this year is that you shouldn't be embarrassed of your story. You shouldn't be feel less than because of the things that you've gone through. You should feel stronger. It's kind of like a badge of honor that I was a teen mom, and look at what I've been able to accomplish from it. My big mantra for this year is to be really honest and be proud of what I've come from and to own my story. How do you stay so upbeat and positive all the time? The short answer is I don't. Go ahead, I'll share a few of my inspirational quotes with you guys. One of mine is no rain, no flowers. So when you're going through something hard, just like us, we can't grow without going through some hard shit sometimes. You can and you will, because you're badass like that. I love that. Sometimes you gotta be your own cheerleader, because if all these outside forces are coming at you all crazy and want to make you feel like a horrible person and like you don't even want to get out of bed, you got to pick yourself up. We're really in charge of our own happiness, and we are badass like that, and we can do what we put our mind to. Yes, this is a motivational video. Get out there and just like do the things that you've been wanting to do for so long. Why not? Just do it, guys. Okay, so I think that is all the questions I had for my Q&A. Seriously, thank you guys for sending me questions on Instagram. It's really cool that anybody cared to ask me anything. I want to thank everybody who's subscribed to me. So thanks for joining me here on my little Sutter Sunday. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up for me. Comment down below any types of videos that you think that I should do. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'd love to know like a fun fact or whatever, because we gotta have some back and forth in our relationship. I just told you all my shit. Tell me something about you. Thank you if you've stuck around this long, and good night. One last thing, somebody wanted to say hi.
Hi.